Hello guys, what is up? This is GalacticElliot welcoming you on to NPA Season 3. We are going against Moonlightswami this week, and he is bringing Volcarona, Wishy-Washy, Mew, Escadrille, Rotom-Key, and Haxorus, while we're bringing Arcanine, Pangoro, Sazbato, Clefable, Megagross, and Salamence. This is a very important week matchup as we are trying to make a playoff spot, and Swami is the pretty much lead of the division at this very moment. So we really need to get the win this week, and for those that are wondering where the NPA matches have been, basically my computer was broken for the past 3 weeks, and I had just recently gotten it all repaired. It took a lot of, effort. It took a lot of money to end up replacing the parts, but over time we ended up getting everything sorted out. I had to actually battle him while my computer was not working, so this is pretty much 2 weeks old at this very point. And yeah, let's get it rolling and going though, and see what we're gonna do. We're gonna lead off with Arcanine and see what he is going to go ahead and lead off with. His team is very good, probably one of the best teams in the league, if not the best. And he ended up actually getting Volcarona, which is his lead, as a pickup because one of the coaches ended up dropping, which was Vump, and Willow, Professor Willow, ended up taking the team and dropped Volcarona, which was very foolish, but you know what? He did what he had to do, and he wanted to get a nice little Sunsetter in Torkoal, so he ended up dropping Volcarona. So over here, he ends up switching out. I go for the Flamethrower just to get some damage off, and we see that this is a leftovers Mew, so that gives us some intel, knowing that this thing is going to be defensive, probably have some rocks, probably have some recovery, and they probably a D5 because he didn't really have anything that had, I mean, maybe Escadrille can have Rapid Spin. So over here, he goes to the Super Fang, and that does a lot of damage. He actually learned that from King Bub, who had Golbat against me and ended up having Super Fang as his only offensive move, which did a lot of damage. So we switched out on a Pokemon that had leftovers at the very least, so that was pretty nice. He's going to go ahead and switch out into Buzzkill, predicting us to switch into probably Megagross or something like that. So we are going to go ahead and do a nice little double switch over here, and we're going to go into Clefable actually. So I want to see what this thing has, and we're just going to go for a nice little Wish, as he is going to go for a Fiery Dance. So I was anticipating him bringing out the Fiery Dance, Fire Blast, and he is going to get that special attack boost, which I'm pretty sure has a 50% chance of having the raise, and we went for the Wish like I said before. We forgot this thing is Lifeable, which is nice to know early and often, but unfortunately we cannot take 2 Fiery Dances. So I go ahead and switch out into my Arcanine, predicting him to probably just go for another Fiery Dance or go for the Intimidate because, well, that's the ability we have for this week. It would have been nice to have Flash Fire, but that's fine. He's actually going to go for the Giga Drain, anticipating us to switch into Sazbato. I figured this thing would have the Giga Drain, so it does a decent amount of damage because he is +1. And over here, I do have the Roar. And I was thinking about possibly bringing the Roar just to pretty much not, let him Quiver Dance. So instead of Quiver Dance, he actually goes for the Hidden Power. I believe that was Rock, and that was a big hit as he is +1. We're gonna go ahead and Roar. Unfortunately, don't have any hazards on the field, and unfortunately, who do we roar into out of all the Pokemon we possibly could roar into? Wishy-Washy. And Wishy-Washy is a big part to this team, a big thing that surprised me. I was not predicting to bring it, but he did end up bringing it because he saw the work he put into my team. So over here, I end up actually predicting to go for the Ice Beam as if we're possibly going to go into Sazbato, and he actually will end up going for the Ice Beam. So we made the harder over here. I thought, you know what, if he gets Rocks up, Arcanine's not even going to live it, so I might as well just stay in and see what this thing is. He has Life Orb, which will do a good chunk of damage, I like it. So over here, I am going to pretty much predict him to go for the Skull at this very moment, and we are going to make that hard switch into Trevor, the Sazbato, and see what it's going to do. So he is going to go for the Scald, and we are going to get some decent recovery. If you went for the Ice Beam, probably 2 KO from that range, but that's fine. We're going to get some nice recovery over here, though, so the Zero Fangs didn't really do too much damage to us. Happily ever after, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out over here into Megagross, which is not Mega yet, predicting them just go for the Ice Beam or the Hidden Power Grass. I was actually really fearing the Hidden Power Grass as he would pack it, but he just went for the Ice Beam, showing me that he doesn't have Hidden Power Grass, or he's probably bluffing that he doesn't have it. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in and Mega Evolve, of course, as he's going to go into Mew. And this thing was quite annoying as it reminded me of Celebi that King Bub had that just came in every single time and would be able to eat up the hits. I went straight for the Zen Headbutt, kind of just wanting to get as much damage as possible and possibly getting the flinch. It missed, but you know what? It didn't matter at all because this thing is a beast and could take any hits I can really deliver. So we're going to go into our Sazbato over here, trying to see what he's going to do, and he's going to go for another Super Fang, as honestly, I mean, Sazbato has really taken enough Super Fangs as is, But we are starting to get into a pretty low amount of health, which I don't really want to be in at the very moment. And Mew is just getting back to full HP. We haven't really seen much of from this Mew though, other than Super Fang. He hasn't really used Stealth Rock at all, showing me that this thing probably doesn't have Stealth Rock. But he's continuously using Super Fang as if he's some sort of choice mod, even though we know he's leftovers. So over here, I'm just going to go for the Toxic, just trying to get some damage off on him. Slowly yet surely. I do know it's synchronized as a thing. I do know we're going to get the Toxic. But Sastra is already at such little HP that I don't mind us getting Toxic, as I know Mew, for the long run, is going to be an annoying Pokemon if we can't take it out in one shot. And I don't want to getting free switch-ins every single time into Mega Gross. I want to at least get some damage off on this thing and see what happens. As Sasbatoad, you know, it's nice and whatnot, but you can't switch it in every single time. It's going to start getting more damage, it's starting to start getting whittled down. And he's going to go actually into the Volcarona, as we are going to go ahead and switch out into our Pangoro. So this isn't a bad matchup for me in my opinion, as I could pretty much OHKO this thing with Knockoff if it really felt like it. And the HP range he's at, of course, Knockoff will kill. He's going to go for the Fiery Dance though, as that is going to do a lot of damage. That's going to bring us down 35%, and he's going to get another special attack raise. And we're going to go ahead and drop that Knockoff and try to get a nice little kill over here, and hopefully not get burned. That would suck. Flame Bite does not activate happily ever after, and we are going to live throughout the Life Orb. Over here is going to go into his Rotom Heat. And we are packing max speed Pangoro. We're going to drop that Earthquake. We got that nice little beautiful Earthquake going by with the Mold Breaker ability, and we're going to surpass that Levitate and destroy it in one shot. Swami was kicking himself for that one, thinking that we were not packing the speed investment, but we were. That wasn't even the speed creep, but it's Joe, and that was just max speed Pangoro. And at this point, I didn't want this thing getting a free D-Dance. I don't know what kind of Haxorus this is, but for what I could tell, he's gonna go for the Earthquake, and we are just gonna die. So happily ever after, he does not get the D-Dance, although I kind of wish he went for the D-Dance. We don't see any leftovers, so that kind of leads me to thinking he's Scarf. So I'm gonna go into my Arcanine, and we're gonna get the Intimidate off, and at this point I think we should just switch out and see what this thing is, if it's Scarf Donor. He's just gonna switch out though and go right into his Wishy-Washy without any hesitation whatsoever. And at this point, I wanted to make the double out into Salamence to see if he is Scarfed and if he were to go for another Earthquake. Actually, he was not. He was actually a Z-move Haxorus. So, funnily enough, he switched out as if he was Scarfed, but he wanted to just get initiative and went out into Wishy-Washy. We're going to triple out this time into Mega Gross, trying to get some momentum. And he's going to go for the Ice Beam, of course, thinking that maybe we'll stay in. He is going to get a crit though, and this crit is actually huge because at this point, he will definitely kill us with Scald. I'm not sure, maybe it was a roll if he didn't get this crit on how much Scald would do, but we're going to go for the Zen Headbutt, and we don't get the flinch. He's going to go for the Scald, kill us off, but the good part is that after this Scald, he's going to go back into his Schooling form, the regular form, of course. I'm not sure if, yeah, I mean, like, Schooling is going to go off. I'm not sure which form is called the Schooling form. At this point, I'm just saying that he's going to go back to his old form, his regular form. So at this point, I think, okay, let's go for the Stealth Rock. This thing's going to die until, you know, Life Orb anyways, and we're going to be in a really good shape. Nuh-uh-uh. He goes for the rest, and at this point, I knew that we were in trouble, because this thing is going to get back into that full HP form, and oh my goodness, I wish I was doing live com, because my reaction to him using rest was just a huge grunt, man. I got so upset. I was so disappointed in myself, and of course, I didn't have a computer, so I couldn't search up, you know, constantly about all these Pokemon that I wasn't too familiar with, especially Wishy-Washy. I thought this thing was just a pain in the ass to deal with until you got it to 25 HP, or 25%, I should say. But he ends up packing the rest, Sleep Talk, and we're going to switch out over here. This is the only thing I could have done to switch out and go for a nice little Outrage or something like that. He goes to the Sleep Talk, and he will get the Ice Beam. So that was a 33% chance to roll Ice Beam, and he got lucky enough to roll it. So RNG, not really our best friend with the Roar, bringing out Wishy-Washy right away, and then now Sleep Talk getting the Ice Beam out of every other move it could have you know, chosen. So at this point, I figured why not try to risk some sort of more RNG, Kaz, and hopefully he can go for the Skull over here. I go for the Life, I go for the Knockoff. That's pretty much the best move I've kind of gone for, and he's gonna go for another Sleep Talk, and funnily enough, he does get the Ice Beam yet again. So we're getting quite unlucky, as he could have gone for Rest, or he could have gone for Scald, and Scald would have been amazing. Rest could have been nice, but unfortunately he goes for another Ice Beam. It's going to kill us off. And, I mean, over here, I just end up kind of giving up. We just got into Clefable. We're just kind of going to try to get some damage off on him. trying to get him to that schooling form, and Scald is just going to go off and kill our Clefable. So we're in really bad shape, and this seems to be a sweep from Wishy-Washy. At this very point, we don't have any sort of shenanigans like Solar Beam or whatever. I mean, it wouldn't really matter anyways, because he knows we're leftovers. We're just going to go for the Flamethrower and try to just do as much damage as possible. And at this point, he's just going to go straight for the Scald and finish this off. There's no sort of there's no sort of shocker at that point. We know he's going to go for Swami. Ended up getting the 4-0 on me, and you know what? That's fine. I ended up not playing the best I could have, and I didn't anticipate the sleep talk. So I learned something new, and you know what? That's the best part about battling. You learn something new every single time you battle, and whether you have an initiative or not, I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, I could have really won this game if I had actually killed the Wishy-Washy rather than getting rocks up, but that was amazing prep on Swami's part. He knew that rest sleep talk could have been really nice against me, and it did put in the work. And I really played passively in the beginning of the match as well. I mean, I was just switching out, trying to get some momentum, when I should have been probably more aggressive. I've been building lots of defensive sets on these teams, and it would have been nice if I had just stayed in against the Wishy-Washy in the first place, and whatnot, whenever I was in the Sazbatoad, not predicting the HP Grass, because I was really thinking he was packing HP Grass, but then comes Rest Sleep Talk. I was like, why is he not packing like HP Grass? He literally has no reason not to run HP Grass whenever he has Ice Beam for the Salamence. Like, I don't know, man. Once I saw the rest, though, I knew that was game. I knew that was over. And I'm sorry if I spoiled a little bit in the post-commentary, but you know what? It is what it is. Next week will also be Stitcher quality post-commentary. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. My name is GalacticElliot. Please be sure to drop a like if you did enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace